It's WNCW. We are live in Studio B with Ancient Cities, getting the afternoon kicked off in a rockin' fine fashion. Our live session this afternoon made possible by Sierra Nevada Brewing Company, proud member of the American craft beer movement. Gentlemen, 2 albums into the band's life, some big changes between the 2 albums sonically.
Yeah.
Interesting. It kind of started off with a bit of a folk, psychedelic folk sound, and now it's getting a little crunchy and edgy.
Right. Well, the first album I was coming off I did a solo album just under my name, Stephen Warwick, called Talking Machine. It came out in 2010. And that was more singer-songwriter folk, and I wanted to start a rock band, and so I was kind of coming off of that style of writing, and so I think there's a mix of both on the first album. There's a little bit of rocking stuff, and then, some folky tunes. And then with Supermoon Blackout, writing the songs, I was having a hard time leaving space for other people to do things on the first album. So I was just like consciously like, all right, I got to leave space for other things to happen. And so that's kind of what the second album.
I guess it's become more of a collaborative writing thing, or are you still bringing the bulk of the material and then let everybody get their hands dirty?
Yeah, well, I'll come with a song idea. This last album, Supermoon Blackout, I had the songs pretty much written, and then had people kind of give their own flavor to it. I didn't want to be like, no, play it just like this. You got to let artists be creative. So
you are the benevolent dictator, sir.
No, you will play it like this.
That's right.
Yeah.
Well, let's take a minute and introduce everybody around the room.
I'm Stephen Warwick. I sing and play guitar.
Yeah, and that cat next to you is...
I'm Justin Fedor on the bass.
Yeah, hey, Justin.
Justin Faircloth on the keyboards.
Nice. And way back there in the corner...
That's Nicholas Hallman.
Yeah. Once again, we just make it a standard thing to not give the drummer a microphone. It just causes trouble.
Yeah, this isn't the band here.
He has the most microphones of anybody.
He does. So how was the recording accomplished for Supermoon?
It was kind of all over the place.
It was fun.
It was
sure.
fun,
Yeah.
but it was definitely. So we started. There's a song called "Actress" that we started recording. We went to Newport Folk Festival, and Converse Rubber Tracks brought us to Newport to play their stage, and then also included in this contest we won was 2 days recording in the studio in Boston at the Rubber Track Studio, and we did a few tunes, and one of them was we did the drums and the bass for Actress there, and then took it back to Charlotte and kind of built it from there. And then a lot of the other stuff was recorded at this place called Susu Studio. This guy, Chris Waldorf, engineered that. And then
did you have a couple of songs in mind when you went up to Boston for the recording session, or did you go in going, oh my gosh, what?
Totally blind. Totally
I wrote a song in the van before they let us into the studio.
No kidding.
And we recorded the whole thing there, and then we released it for half a minute, and then we sort of parked the bus on it. So it didn't even make it on Supermoon Blackout. It might be on the next album.
Yeah, it might be.
Revisit.
But the drums and the bass from Actress made it onto Supermoon Blackout.
We had to take the piano off because the piano was squeaking so much. But it was awesome because we got to work with Seth Manchester, who produced Deer Tick and a handful of other bands out of the Northeast. And he was phenomenal and had a lot of great creative energy. And we were doing stuff that we had never done before as musicians and miking and all sorts of things. So we had a lot of fun up there. And it was overall we were coming off the high of playing Newport Folk Festival. So we had just played a festival with Roger Waters and My Morning Jacket and James Taylor. So it was our brains were
pick up those names you just dropped.
Yeah, right. I mean, it was it was sort of like one of those things where you don't even really realize that you're at this festival and things are happening that are so cool. And then you go to this recording studio that's high tech, and we were just pretty much just doing whatever we could, how as quickly as possible. Let's try to record that now. Let's do it. All right, great.
If we had all the songs worked out for Supermoon at that point, we probably could have finished the album in those 2 sessions, for the most part, at least we're tracking it. But things don't work out that way, and you make adjustments. So.
Yeah. Is it psychologically challenging to? I mean, right off the bat, that's early in your career as a band to get invited to a major stage and then get a shot at a lovely studio and everything else. I mean, on the backside, you got to figure there's going to be some letdown.
Yeah.
So we get an email on I forgot that we even applied to this contest that they were putting on, and I get an email on a Monday, and it's like, you've been chosen out of 3 bands to come up to Newport Folk Festival and play. And I was like, what? I was like, what did I apply for? And then I had to read it again, and then I called Justin, and I'm like, hey, Justin, I think we got into Newport Folk Festival. And you're like, what? And I was like, yeah, read the email. And then you're like, oh. And then we were both like, can we do this? We had to be there that Friday to play Friday. And so we're like, okay, well, we have to go there. So we pulled it together, yeah.
Incredible. Ancient Cities here with us at WNCW this afternoon, off on a bright career. We got another song from the album?